This is my book, ladies and gentlemen, Zobu. This book you get online right now, anywhere, globally, around the world. Considered one of the greatest works ever. So make sure if you're looking for a great book to sit back, take some time alone with yourself and enjoy a great book. Here it is. Which, here is another one you'll find on Amazon. And soon, the Ark Tabernacles. The Ark Tabernacles you'll be able to see. We're going to try to move through this magic class very quickly. As you can see, that's the Ark Tabernacle right there. With, of course, the Sephiroms on top, cherubims, whichever word you want to use. We're going to run through this really quick. Like I said, I got a lot of things going on, trying to make my time shorter, get it all on my social media, and get back to work. Thank you all so much. I hope you like the work I do. I hope that you really find what I do interesting, whether you want to believe it or not. You're in this real world with me, and I want to give you all the information you don't normally get, because I'm that guy who is studying. Now, first thing, what's up? What's happening? The Ark Tabernacle. What do we need to know about what's coming in the Ark Tabernacle? Why it's so important? Why so many people is really loving this idea? It's by design. We were all designed to wake up at a certain time in this world together, find out who is what, and proceed with building this Ark Tabernacle. It will house the whole world to keep it safe through vibrating and frequencies. It's the system. It's out there. It's already been known to work. But once it's finished, outer space can't hurt us anymore. Earthquakes can't hurt us no more. We can use the planet however we need to for food, crops, things like that. So remember that as we're working toward that thing in the future. Thank you all for helping and all those others. It really come across me as I was working into the next chapter of the Ark Tabernacle, the Books of the Damned. We're going into a story really quick. That way you could go to wherever you're going today, and if somebody comes across to you saying, oh, Jesus, you need Jesus, and you really don't want to deal with it, you can either walk by or you can definitely lay out the system for them. First of all, I'm going to take you into a system that's called Mary. Mary is the first system. If those who've read my first book know, I came up with and had the three sisters inside my book. They were supposed to be helpers. They were supposed to know everything. They knew nothing. And technically, they didn't do anything. Follow along. This is not to pick on any females or any way putting them down. Actually, I'm going to inspire females today by the millions. So that way you know who you're talking to. There's a huge thing coming out in Christianity now through the Gnostics. And I'm telling you now, Sophia, our planet, did not want Jesus. She did not want Jesus. She's not looking for Jesus. Who's she looking for? Everyone will go back to that twin brother that's born in a vessel, handed to her, known as the Archangel Samiel. It's everywhere. He's in everything. That's the one she's looking for. Jesus got on a cross and left us all. To do what? Figure out what happened. That's where we're going right now. So when you go through, this isn't biblical, ladies and gentlemen. It only has parts of the Bible in it. I'm taking you to the past documents because I got to do all this within 10 minutes. So let's get on with it, shall we? Okay, so we've got, if you go back into the documents of the old, you'll find a place where it talks about a girl's diary. A girl's diary in the Saigons, where if their parents had died, and the church and stuff was the brotherhood. Most people know that's, of course, Abrahamic religion. The brother takes care of the brother's children. So they all go inside a church system. A lot of places do that still to this day. Several of them around the world. In other words, they're in a diary now. In other words, another type of orphanage. There you go. Well, Mary is known to be with her cousin Elizabeth, which also is documented. She was part of the church, the Zionist faith, the Jehovah's coming back to kill everyone if you don't get down on your hands and knees religion. So there you go. That is an extension. So now we're going to go into the mind frame, as I was showed by all the demons and all the angels and all the spirits, as well as Mother Nature. Mother Nature is not Mother Mary. Listen to me. There's so many trying to get people to pray. The earth is actually Mother Mary's spirit waiting on Jesus to return. Wrong. Sophia is nothing like Mother Mary. Nothing. If she was, I'll tell you, I can even prove Mother Mary was another type of Lilith she did not want to be. Follow along real quick. So you've got Elizabeth, a young girl. She's with, and Mary, Mary's a little younger. We do know she's just a little younger than Elizabeth. So Elizabeth gets married to a John, who is of the churches. Follow along with me. So this is where Mary, how many of you know if you take a young girl, she will get next to the next youngest girl and she'll try to live that life with her. Well, let's say Elizabeth, definitely same principle. She's married, she's with John, she has a baby named John the Baptist. Notice Jesus and John are not that far in age. They're very close, so close in fact, it's downright scary. So now you see what I'm talking about. Now, isn't it funny how the churches realize Mary's pregnant? Mary's now pregnant by some type of virgin birth. Remember, this is a high statue person in their religion. The churches are looking for that next Messiah. So if you've got Elizabeth who is not willing to accept the fact that Mary is pregnant by John, follow along, just follow along. Don't put me down yet. We're not done. You'll even say it out of your own mouth when I get done. Who is Jesus' father? Figure it out here in just a second. The archangels Gabriel and Michael both said, we know nothing of these events. They know nothing. If you go back through the documentations, they didn't show up to Mary. The churches did. Listen to me. 3 wise men go to Herod and say, Herod. Now, this is where it all comes in. Listen to me. There is document work. He had his own chancellors. He had his own manuscript. Sorry about that. They documented stuff. So Herod knew who was doing what in the churches. 3 wise men come to him and tell him the churches come up with a Messiah. Okay, so let's go back into the church. Guess what happens next? The puzzles, the pieces of the puzzles fit at this point. They were covering up something. John is huge. We can't get him in trouble. Listen to me. Isn't this something? How no longer Elizabeth counts for anything, neither does John. They find somebody called Joseph, a obscured carpenter. He's in the church. He's a young guy. We're going to throw Mary to him. She's still going to get this diary. She's still going to get the diary because when you go through and you follow along, you find out she's got money you know nothing about through it all. She's getting money. So you're going to marry this guy. He's not going to touch you. Well, naturally, he's not going to. Naturally, he's going to be like, look, I don't know whose kid this is. Follow along. Mary never had a Joseph the rest of the time. Let's go back to who? John the Baptist shows up. Jesus is gone. He has to disappear. Why? Start thinking. Why would Jesus have to disappear? Because up until like 5 or 6 years old, you notice Herod tries to kill all the babies. The 3 wise men show up at a place in Bethlehem. They seeked a room at the inn for no room for him. Nature wasn't giving him place. They had the money to be in that inn. Do you see what I'm telling you? Now you can apply nature to this. Hey, the animals gathered around him. Well, you could lay a crying baby out in the middle of the woods and the animals will gather around that baby. The same system. No big thing. So how did Mary become a virgin? Well, let's stop and think about it. She's a young girl. She's being left alone with this guy. Right? Same thing. Boom. She's no longer a virgin, ladies and gentlemen. She's playing with John. You say, well, that's just wrong. It can't happen that way. No, back on up. We still got evidence. We still got proof from all them documents that everyone's bringing out now. Ooh, big story. Guess what? Jesus' name is the root of Jehovah. Joseph even talks about how he is known, and I'm talking about the scholar Joseph, who was at that time documenting this stuff, that he did not see it as Jesus was the Messiah, that in fact that Joseph's name comes from Jehovah, John's name comes from the ideal of Jehovah, same root in all the words. Jesus would have been named John, but John the Baptist was born first. That made Jesus a second, a Hebrew. They kept telling you, I keep telling you, the firstborn of Jews are Jews. The secondborns are Hebrews. How was Jesus a secondborn? Check this out. Joseph is gone once Jesus reaches a certain age. There's no Joseph, but get this, John shows back up, doesn't he? They had the third John. Elizabeth's record ends at a certain point. John the Baptist doesn't bring it up. But when John the Baptist is going to be beheaded, how many knows the rest of that story? Listen to me. He is following discipleship. It was a two-plan system. Jesus and John were brothers. John the Baptist told everyone, he's my brother. Master, but he's my brother. In other words, when John the Baptist is taken prisoner, even the queen said, these things I'm going to do to you, John, because that was nature. John would leave Jesus' sight preaching two things. What is those two things? Wild honey and locusts. Whoa, Jesus is right the opposite. Two-plan system, the good, the bad. What is Jesus? Wine glutton? No. Glutton and wine bender. Glutton back then we perceive as food today. No, glutton back then was a sexual vax. So Jesus is having this whole group of people. Notice when John is taken, John no longer wants to have sex with anybody. He's actually like, I'm going to do this, Herod. And they've seen him as a good man. But he was playing Herod. But he did not play the queen. Notice the queen says, I'll get you. And guess what? Nature got him, took his head. But Jesus, supposed to be this great master and everything, his own John the Baptist and his disciples come to him saying, aren't we supposed to go underneath you? And he said, no, you're supposed to go to him. So do you see the system? Same system, right? So where's Mother Mary in all this? She's running around leading them all. Get this. So naturally, Jesus comes in on prophecies. He was taught, he was born to do what? Kill everyone. Kill everyone. For what? Zionists. He was doing what they wanted him to do, but once he got in there, guess what? Mother Mary's like, I can't control him no more. The people who she's under, guess what? We're going to have to get rid of them. She is the one, and they are the ones who went into those people and said to them, notice, even your book say it, she was known in the Saigons. She was known through them all. She was a diary. In other words, she was being used by men, right? And she thought, hey, I'll just take it forward. Jesus didn't know he was about to die. Think about what I'm telling you. The same system of Lilith. I'm going to have to kill this guy. I'm going to have to kill this son of mine because he won't obey. He won't do nothing I tell him to anymore. You see what I'm saying? He only wanted to run around with X amount of people. He didn't want everybody. Yeah, he laid out a great plan for everyone, didn't he? Yeah, it was called billions suffered at the hands of somebody who got on a cross and did not come back, nor ever will. Mother Mary is not Sophia. That's what I told you. Sophia is not looking for a Jesus. And these churches now, gone into Gnostic side, keep bringing it up. Sophia is looking for Jesus. You're wrong. You see, you're right back to the demiurge. You're right back to the same chaos. Look up, look out, and watch out, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. Because guess what? John would turn around and be another name of Jesus' brother. You see, why did John the Baptist get beheaded? Has anybody figured that one out? The thought just went through your head if you listen to this. How did John the Baptist get beheaded? Because as he said, what did he say to everyone? The time is now. I have to die so he might live. You see what he was doing for his brother. It was already a cahoots. It was all one big show. But the problem is, Jesus couldn't lift his hand and make the wind start moving. Jesus was no more of a magician. Let me tell you about a magician. His name was David Copperfield. He'd fly across the sky. And people thought it was amazing. And I'm talking back in the 1980s. We don't even have people who can do that today. But they didn't call him the Messiah either. People have been walking on waters for many a years. No big secret there. You see what I'm saying? So the story that everyone keeps putting out, you need Jesus. The next time you walk into church, you tell them. His brother was named John the Baptist. His younger brother was named John. Elizabeth's husband was named John. You see how women like to do men that have babies by them. So Jesus was the next John. Nah, it keeps going back to the John. And Ladies and gentlemen, I have to get off here. I really got to go see the John in the bathroom right now myself and take a holy shit. You have a blessed day. I hope you enjoyed this. I might try to get you some videos out tonight. I promise I will try and tell you how well the chapter went, as well as keep an eye on your Greek god, Zeus. He's fixing to have it handed to him by, of course, Samuel. And last but not least, you're going to hear the term pure earth. You're going to hear that term. What is pure earth? Pure earth is the ability to sit down and play chess with yourself and all the spirits in the world and in the realm before you actually do it. Sounds like that's a weird system, but just think about if you take all your evidence before you put it in a book. That is a pure earth thought. In other words, it's your thoughts with the paperwork and you explain it. Now, I'm not the only one to come up with this conclusion, as well as a lot of people are waking up because Mother Nature has always been here. She still has the information and the truth as it happened. So everybody have a blessed day. And you say, well, I was a fool being a Christian. Chalk to nature. She will show up in your visions. She'll show up in your dreams, and she will guide you into your future. And then you no longer feel like I did. For years, you know how much money I poured into these facilities? Do you know how much money, my hard-earned money, I feel like I was a fool? But I'm giving you back work where they didn't do it and they lived off other people. Ladies and gentlemen, please support my work. Please support it. Even if you didn't like it, please. I work hard to do this, as well as my third book will be coming out, The Ark Tabernacle. Y'all have a blessed and lovely day. Thank you very much. Appreciate you to each and every one. Thank you. Blessed be, mote be, and I hope I kept it under 10 minutes. Oh well, I'll work with it. Y'all have a blessed one. Thank you.